we are installing the Invector third-person controller template. It wasn't real complicated, but it was just going to be easier with the video. So here we go. Get his animator up here. Go to parameters. You want to add a parameter. It's going to be a bool. It's going to be called is rolling, however you want your case to be. The discussion that I found on this said to do it this way. That would be base layer. Are we stuck on full body? Base layer. Go to your actions. Go to roll. Click roll. Once you're on the roll over here, you're going to add behavior. The animator event set bool. It's going to be the is rolling that you just set up over there. We're going to set it to true on enter. We're going to set it to false on exit. Next, we're going to go to full body and attacks. And you're going to have to do this for all of your attacks that you want to be affected. Going to go all the way into the actual attack until you get to their combination sequence here. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to add an extra exit condition. So you're going to make a transition from A to exit. Click on that transition, and you're going to leave the original transition alone. If you're tempted to get in here, swat your fingers, no. Stay out of that. Click on the second exit condition. Okay. Second exit condition is going to have a condition of is rolling true. It's not going to have an exit time, and it's not going to have a fixed duration because we want to be able to exit the animation mid animation. Go back to your is rolling exit condition here. Go into your settings. An interruption source is going to be, and this will be important, next state, then current state. And you're going to repeat that process for each attack. Go to the second one. Is rolling true. No exit time. It's not a fixed duration. Same thing up here. I should edit all these videos together and get this into the right spot so that this doesn't seem way out of order here, but interruption source is next state, then current state. Not on this one. On this one. On the roll conditional, not the non-conditional. Add it on all of your weak attacks and your strong attacks. For the purposes of this example, to not get long-winded, we have done sword attack. Okay, each one looks like this. These haven't been done, obviously. You can see that the arrows are different. So if you're new to the animator controller, just make sure that the thing you want to be sure about is that you have added the second transition. Okay, you need to make that transition. Okay, you need to select this arrow line here going from A to exit. This line, not A, not exit, the transition. So you click the transition and you make sure that you're not on the original transition. It needs that to work. If you're going to attack and then not enter into the next attack in the combination, it's going to sit there and wait for you. If you don't leave this non-conditional exit alone, then it won't exit the attack non-conditionally. There will always have to be a condition to exit the attack, like the next attack or the roll. But we're going to leave that alone, so that's not going to happen. So if you're new to the animator controller, just be aware of that. There needs to be a non-conditional transition from A to exit, B to exit, C to exit. All of those non-conditional original exits need to be left alone. Need to have the second one edited. It has to be is rolling true. These need to be unchecked. To come up here to base layer, okay? And we have to go to actions, and we have to go to rolling. And what we have to do is we have to make it so that you can roll when you have exited the attack. I mean, you can interrupt the attack and exit it at any point with what we've done so far after you modify the roll conditions, which we're going to do here in a second. We're going to do the animator controller first, code second. But you need to be able to enter this roll condition here from any state. And it has to be from any state because you're coming from a more you're coming from a layer that has higher priority. So you have to exit it, and you have to be able to enter this from a state that has higher priority, or a layer that has higher priority. So we're going to want to be able to come into the roll from any state, and the condition on this is going to be if is rolling. So what we also had to do is add a second bool, the bool that is going to tell our other animator states that we've already started the roll, because any state means any state, even rolling. So what we had to do is add a roll begun, or has roll begun, whatever you want to name it, and you add it into the condition here for the any state. If is rolling is true, meaning the character is gonna roll because we're setting it up for the roll, to interrupt things. But has the roll begun? We need that to be false to enter this state, because if the roll is already begun, we don't want to roll from a roll. The code for that is already in the input. However, we needed to make the distinction inside the animator because the animator doesn't know any better. And then what you want to do is on your roll, you need to add another vAnimator set bool. So we've changed our original vAnimator set bool. The is rolling isn't going to set on enter. We're setting that ourselves from the code. But on exit, you still want to set that to false. So have set on exit checked and the exit value unchecked, meaning false. On our second vAnimator set bool, we're going to set our roll beginning or is in the middle of a roll parameter, whatever you name it. And that is going to be like our original. We're going to set that on enter. It's going to be true. And we're going to set it on exit, and it's going to be false. All right, we're in the third person input. What we actually need is the earlier one that it was inherited from, which I believe is this one. Yes. So in V melee combat input, they override the original roll conditions from the script that it was inherited from. And we actually just want to take that out. So in V melee combat input, you find your roll conditions. You go ahead and just comment that one out. All the other overrides worked just fine in my testing. So hopefully that's not actually going to cause us a problem. And we should be good on that, except for we need to go find where the roll is called and do that one more time here. So we're going to go to our roll input. It says go here. We go to that definition, and here we go. We've got the roll. Here's the crossfade. That calls it in the animator. Right before it tells the animator to roll, because then we know that the roll has actually happened. What we also want to do is we want to tell our animator that we're going to set that is rolling that we added. We're going to set that to true. V third person controller, just find void roll, add this line in before the animator call to actually do the roll animation. So since we are any state rolling whenever this is true, we can actually comment out the line that calls the roll animation, because we'll be going into the roll animation kind of state based now when the is rolling is true. So make sure that you have the is rolling line in there, and then comment out the animator crossfade and fixed time roll. Just take that out. And what that's going to do is that's going to trigger this any state condition to go into the roll. You should wind up with something that looks a little bit like this. Here's a roll, here's a swing, here's a swing with, oh, and here's a swing with the roll interrupting. Goes back to swing. Doop, nope, interrupted.